Appreciate you clicking on the video and watching. Like, subscribe, stick around. Today we're going to be working on this Mach 33. We're always tinkering, always kind of trying to pursue better, more accurate, just bows, trying to shoot better, be better. And I got 4 days till I leave for Shot 3D in Kansas, so there's nothing like last minute to work some kinks out. So here's what I've done. I've actually adjusted the let off here. You can see this little knob here. I was at 90% let off, so it was like, when you're drawing back, it's like holding nothing, which was great to an extent, but when it got windy and stuff and you weren't pulling hard, you could really see some movement. I'm afraid my string was torquing against my face a little bit, so I wanted to play with 85 or 80% let off and see if I could tell a difference in having to stay in the shot, a little more stability in my pin. So I've bumped these to 80%. 85 might be the better spot for me right now, just to kind of work towards 80%, but if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly, I guess. So we're going straight to 80%. I've been shooting without bars, just trying to get back to the basics and see, you know, from a fundamental standpoint, how am I shooting the bow? And it's shooting really pretty good for just 3.9 pounds, micro arrows, you know, 50, 60 yards and in, but I need these bars for when I'm shooting those longer ones, 70, 80, 90, 100 especially, and it also helps obviously at close range. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to check all my precision cut archery stuff, measurements for sight tapes, and see if I need to change anything, because I did have to lengthen my draw length. I was at G and now I've gone to F. So when you adjust this brace height, or the let off I should say, when you adjust this let off, you can tell your draw length shorter. I did another ½ inch I guess out of this mod and it seemed to hit perfect. So it feels really good at full draw. I've got a pretty long D loop too, but feels really good at full draw now. So I've adjusted the draw length, I've adjusted the let off. I need to make sure all my measurements are the same, the geometry is the same, and check my sight tape, a new sight tape potentially. If I don't like this, the beauty of precision cut archery, if I don't like this, if I decide that's not going to be good for me to shoot at, I've got my old printed off one here and I've wrote down 90% let off mod G, so I can just switch that back to 90% let off, go back to the G mod, and I should be perfectly fine with one of these sight tapes. So let's check these measurements real quick. All right, so another thing that I wanted to check was my drop away. Make sure that I wasn't too tight now that I've loosened that. I've lengthened my draw length just a little bit. I want to make sure it's not just too tight. Check my timing and everything while I'm at it. All right, pin to peep, 29.5. All right, so last time the speed was 316. Oh, my battery's not going out. It was 316, and then we have lengthened the draw length and decreased the let off. So 323. Wow. We'll see if that holds. That's pretty fast. 320. 321. Shoot, it'd be nice to get something consistent. 322. So I've gotten 320, 321, 322, 323. All right, so our arrows haven't changed, but just for keeping things the same, let's double check our arrow weight. 325, 324.6, 325.6. All right, so we've got our new sight tape printed. I've put some packing tape over it because if this does work, I'm going to cut it out, glue it on, and it'd be my go-to tape. I've wrote on here 80% let off, F mod, so if I have to switch back and forth, if I decide I don't like this one, I want to go with the other one, I can always come back to this sight tape and just move some mods, move my let off, stick this on there, and it should line up if we decide we like this one. We are going to put the bars back on just because we need to get this sight tape set in, and we're down to like 4 days before I got to leave. So we need to have this as shooting bullets as much as we can. It is real windy today, unfortunately, but I'm going to try to shoot some off the edges of my shop where maybe the wind is blocked a little bit. we're gonna hope. We're gonna see. It is windy. I just don't have any more time. We gotta shoot, so get after it. Not the best group. You know, at 40 yards, I'd like to be able to put my hand around a group. Got some a little low. I would like to think that these ones up here were kind of my last shots. I know these green ones should have been because I shot the orange tips first. So these should have been some of my later shots, which are just a touch right and height's just perfect. So hoping that means 40's pretty well on, which is kind of surprising. All right, so we're gonna try to do 50 yards here. It's a little bit windy, but we are kind of in between these trees, so I'm hoping it doesn't get too wild. But I'm using this last sight tape still had 90% let off and the shorter draw length. And we're gonna just see if 50 is 50 on it. I do like this target better than the other target, the bag target I was shooting at. Hard for me to really lock in and aim on that because it's kind of all just yellow and black. A 10 and one might be an 8 at 50 yards. That was a bad one. All right, so I'm just all around the yellow. Pretty good, I guess. I'm gonna try to back up to 60, I guess, or at least 55 to 60. It's lining up, oddly enough, with the old sight tape pretty dang good right now. Like that's 50 on the old sight tape, which is 5 or 6 yards for feet per second difference. So I'm kind of shocked by that. Not a great group, but I mean it's in this pretty good. I mean I got one flyer up high, but not bad. 50 yards. Had one that I just absolutely punched, which is this one. Just could not get the pin to float on the yellow. Maybe a little target panic or something. But the other ones, I mean, not great, but not horrible. Just not enough to make me go, I need to go to 49 or I need to go to 51 and shoot again. Honestly, it kind of seems like that might be my 50 mark. The wind is definitely not helping. I think I'm going to put it on line 50 up and hope tomorrow is a little less rainy day, or windy day, and rainy. It's fixing to storm. So I'm going to see if tomorrow's a little calmer and maybe I can get some longer shots and double check that and see if that 50 truly is my mark or not, because right now I don't think I'm doing much good. All right, so I finally got a chance to get out and shoot some long shots, and I didn't take a camera with me because I thought, you know, I'm just kind of checking a sight tape. I didn't think there'd be much to it. 70, 80, 90, 100, that group was phenomenal. I think this 80 pound, 80% let off seems to really help aim. So I had some, you know, good groups, 70, 80, checking the 70, 80, 90 mark, 100 mark. When I went to 110 though, it started getting off. So what I did, I was able to get a good group at 110. It was actually 107 and a half. To finally get some like groups at 110 that grouped good. So I've adjusted that on this sight tape. I've got an updated sight tape here that we're going to use. And we're going to go check one more time and see before we leave for Shot 3D Kansas this weekend. And they are calling for rain, so I have definitely got this prepped for rain. We're going to check one more time just to make sure everything's good. I'm going to leave the tape underneath here, the tape I had out there. I'm going to leave it on there because it was really good up to 100. And for whatever reason at 110 it got a little squirrely. But I could take it and just there'll be 2 or 3 shots that are over 100 that I could just kind of mentally remember what was 110. I could do that. I don't want to have to do that, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. So I'm going to leave it on here, and worst case scenario, I'm just going to peel this one off. It would have been easier to do the other side. All right, so we are on. We're going to double check everything. Having all those, I got 3 tapes on here. Hopefully none of them start just coming off if it gets wet, but we're going to check some bombs with it, see how everything shoots, and then we will pack up and get ready to go to Shot 3D Kansas. If you're going to be there, I hope to see you. This will probably come out after then, so I hope I saw you, I guess, past tense. Appreciate you watching. Stick around. Lots of cool stuff coming. I got some bow builds coming. There's one in the background that maybe you have been seeing. So stick around.